Hello and thank you. Welcome to the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center. My name is Issachar Bey, and I want to thank all of you for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I am the Senior Director and the facilitator and teacher for today. I'm going to be teaching you or discussing as we continue in our series, Mental Resurrection. Those of you that are tuning in right now for the first time, we say welcome. And also, could you put what state you're from in the chat? If you can put your name and what state you're from in the chat. Also, if you can like, share, and also subscribe. Those of you that are listening, if you can like, also share this broadcast and also share it to some of your friends or people who you are connected with on YouTube. So we thank you and we appreciate all of you. This is a very special, kind of interesting day today. Today is the day when Pluto goes into Aquarius, and it's pretty major. The last time Pluto went into Aquarius, there's a lot of things that happened. Money was created. The United States Bill of Rights was created. There was a lot of major new phenomena, new things that were set in place, new regimes, empires, and so forth. And so this is a very interesting time that we are in. Last week, we discussed a little bit of the elements about mental resurrection, and we're going to kind of continue a little bit off of that. We're going to get into some things this week. What I wanted to start out with first, of course, is our spiritual mind treatment. I believe that it gets us in a place that centers us. It gets us in a place that allows us to be centered, to be in the right place at the right time, to be still, to be quiet, to allow our thoughts to pause and to take a moment and get in alignment with spirit. And so I'm going to do it a little differently than we did last week. I'm just going to ask everybody to just be in a quiet position, to just close your eyes and just kind of meditate and follow me as I go through the spiritual mind treatment. What you can do is take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Take a deep breath, inhale, and release, exhale. Once again, take a deep breath, inhale, and once again, release, exhale. In the vast and boundless realm of consciousness, I recognize and honor the power of the theater of my imagination. It is through this divine facility that I transcend the limitations of the physical world and I tap into the infinite realm of possibilities. In this sacred space of my mind, I now enter into the theater of my imagination, where each breath release all doubts and fears, allowing my consciousness to expand and align with the divine presence within me. As I sit in the audience of this theater, I witness the grand stage before me. The curtains opened, revealing a magnificent scene of vibrant colors and sparkling lights. I am surrounded by the energy of creativity and inspiration, knowing that everything is possible in this sacred space. With intuition and clarity, I invite the power of the imagination to guide me, to call forth visions of my highest potential, seeing myself stepping into the roles of my dreams. I am the fearless adventurer, exploring new territories and embracing the unknown. I am the wise sage, sharing wisdom and compassion with all who seek guidance. I am the radiant light, illuminating the world with joy and love. In the theater of my imagination, I release any limited beliefs or negative patterns that have held me back. I dissolve them into the ether, knowing that they no longer serve my highest good. I replace them with the empowering thoughts and beliefs that align with my divine nature. As the scenes unfold on the stage of my mind, I feel the emotions and sensations of my desired experiences. I see myself fully in joy, love, and abundance that I am calling forth. I'll allow these feelings to permeate every cell of my being, knowing that the universe responds to the energy I embody. In this sacred theater, time and space have no limitation. I embrace the eternal now, knowing that my visions and desires are already manifesting in the unseen realm. I trust in the divine timing and unfoldment of my dreams, knowing that all is well and in perfect order. I express deep gratitude for the theater of the imagination and its transformative power. I am grateful for the guidance and support of the divine presence within me. I carry the energy of this spiritual mind treatment within me, knowing that it continues to work in the unseen realm, bringing my visions into physical manifestation. And so it is, and so it is. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you that may just be jumping on right now, we just completed our spiritual mind treatment. It's good to get in alignment, to get focused, some of which we will be talking about today. If you're just tuning in, please let us know where you're from, what country, what state, what city you're tuning in from. Let us know your name. Also, if you can like, share, and this broadcast, we would be forever grateful. We thank you for tuning in to this broadcast. I believe that there's no accidents, there's no mistakes in the universe. You're listening to this. There's something that may be said today that you needed to hear. There's something that may be discussed that may trigger or may reshape or reform or transform something in your life that will bring you closer to your destiny and your purpose. And so we are honored and we are forever grateful to be in this moment here in this time, that we can begin to unfold these ancient wisdom truths and begin to give you and allow you to be a better version of yourself, to begin to resurrect your mind and to move into a space where you can awaken the mental alchemist within yourself. And so we are forever grateful. On this Sunday, I want to thank all of you for tuning in. As I said earlier, we're in a very interesting time now where and I don't really want to discuss the Pluto Aquarius thing, but just it is very interesting because I think we're going to see some events take place this week that will basically shadow or piggyback on the fact that Pluto has now entered into Aquarius. And so this is something that's going to be somewhat very very interesting to watch and do. And so I may want to discuss this back on the private call. Now that we're in on YouTube, there's certain things that I won't release here that I would do back on the call. So maybe we can put something together where we kind of discuss some of the things that are going forth. I want to thank all of you for the great feedback from last week's teaching. A lot of you reached out to me, told me that you really got a lot out of that, and I'm glad that you're doing so. My intention is not just to uh, give you great wisdom and great knowledge and awaken you and bring you back to remembrance. But my goal is that you take these precepts, these concepts, and these truths, and you actually apply them to your lives, that you actually begin to work with the elements and look at everything in your life as elementals, everything, your boss, your husband, your wife, your children, your neighbors, the people that you deal with at the cleaners in your store. Everybody moves and operates in the elements. So when we begin to look at that from that perspective, it changes the dynamics of how we deal with people, because once you can deal with people on an elemental basis, it definitely begins to change the dynamic, and you're able to get a little bit more of a general understanding of who you are and how you're going to be operating in this season of your life. We're in the year of 2024. This is a year of manifestation. This is a year for the earth-wise, the year 2024. And I see a lot of people talking about 2024 as the year of this, and it is that kind of a year. But I also want to remind those that live in the United States of America that the United States of America is operating under a different vibration. And so, we're living in a time where this is going to be a year of major changes. This is going to be the year of major changes. I'm going to do a talk pretty soon. I might release it this week, and it'll be here on YouTube, but you guys go listen in. But this is going to be a year of major changes. I would say, if I was to see into the future or to leading from the future, I would say right around April and May, you're going to see major changes in the United States, major, that could have to do with policy, laws. You're going to see major changes in how things are being dealt with, and how the status quo of how things are. There's going to be a total change in how we operate, or how we operated as a country now that we're going to be moving into this season. A mental alchemist is, as we discussed, a person who can take a thought, a concept, an idea, and begin to create it and bring it into fruition. It is my intent that everybody on this call, on this broadcast that's listening, that your goal is to become a mental alchemist, to become a mastermind, to be able to master your mind. When you learn how to master the mind, that's when you get into a place where you can think a thought, a concept, an idea, and you would know how to bring it to fruition. I heard Oprah Winfrey say one time that she doesn't need vision boards, she doesn't need all of those things anymore, because she's become a master manifester. She knows how to manifest her thoughts. She knows how to bring something from the intangible realm into the tangible realm. She knows how to bring forth the thing. She knows how to enter into the theater of her imagination and begin to put on the screen the very thing that she's bringing into fruition. One of my favorite quotes that I always constantly mentally have in my head, and it's something that it actually it just always motivates me when I meditate on it, when I say it. I think that it's very appropriate for us, and I hope that you, those listening, will begin to kind of embrace it and make it your own. It's a quote by, of course, you guys know one of my favorite authors is Charles Haanel. He's one that has the book, the Master Key System, and in his book he has a quote, and it's a very profound quote that I think it's very proper and definitely a right now quote for us as mental alchemists. It says here, we must be before we can do, and we can only do to the extent of which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. I'm going to say that one more time. We must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent which we are. And what we are depends upon what we think. I just think that that's so profound. I mean, uh, that quote itself it's I would say is the very foundation of what we are building and what we are learning and what we are uh, uh, growing towards to become to be. You know, just to look at this from this, let's just take a minute. I just want to take a minute and kind of delve into this for a little while. It says what we must be before we can do. Now, I've always moved in being. You know, you only get out of life what you become. I've always said that. I never get out of life what I hope for, what I wish for. Those of you that are listening in the chat, I want you to write this. I will only become in life. I can only get in life what I become. I will only get in life what I become. I have to be before I can do. Just that right there. That would tell me that in order to achieve my desired outcome, uh, to take the actions towards my goals, I must first embody. I must first embody the qualities, the characteristics uh, of a person who has already achieved those things. So it, it, in the beginning, when it says we must be, what I'm doing is I'm embodying, I'm becoming the very thing that I am in process or I'm in the position of accomplishing or doing. I'm already becoming it. I think that that's so important as mental alchemists that we come to the notion of understanding that you must be before. Those of you that are starting a business, those of you that are striving to achieve certain things, you don't get there. You don't become that at the end. You don't, while you're going through it, become it. You become it first. You become the entrepreneur first. You become the business first. You become it because when I embody the qualities and the characteristics of a person who has accomplished the very thing that I'm going after, I'm actually aligning my thoughts, my beliefs, and my emotions with the desired state of being. I'm getting in alignment. So somebody listening on this call right now, you are. I want to put this out. You're a mental alchemist. You say to yourself, "It's 2024. You know, we're getting ready to move into tax season now. Everybody's getting back their tax returns." You're saying to yourself, "I want to go get me a brand new car. I want to get a brand new car. I want to get a brand new car easily and effortlessly. I want to get a brand new car of my choosing at a price that's going to be that a price that's going to be easy for me to handle, right?" You're setting all of these things in motion, but here's the thing: you got to first embody. Listen to this: the qualities, the characteristics of the person who has already purchased the car. So how would it feel if you had purchased this 2024, 2025 car? What are the characteristics? What are the qualities that would that person experience? You have to be that. And then when you become that now, you're now in a position to align your thoughts, your beliefs, and your emotions to align with that state of being that I've already become this. Whatever the car is, it's already mine. I already have it. I already have it. And then it says we can only do to the extent of which we are. As mental alchemists, this would suggest our ability to take the effective action and on our as it will be dependent on our level of self-awareness, our personal growth, and also the alignment with our desires. And it's about us developing the necessary skills, knowledge, and mindset that are in line with our goals. When it says we can do only to the extent of which we are, that which we are, as I just said, it takes us back to your level of self-awareness, of you understanding who you are, of you aligning yourself with your personal growth, alignment, also developing the necessary skills, knowledge, and mindset that's going to allow you to line up with those goals by continuously working on yourself and expanding your capabilities. When we increase our capacity to take action, we create the outcomes we desire. When we are what we are depends upon what we think. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Or, as I said earlier, we're no longer going to say that. We're going to substitute the word man and the word woman with the word mind. As a mind thinketh, so is he. So when it says what we are depends upon what we think, this emphasizes the power of our thoughts and beliefs in shaping our reality. Our thoughts and beliefs influence our self-perception of how we perceive ourselves. This is an inside job, not an outside job, which in turn determines our actions and the results we achieve. By consciously choosing positive, empowering thoughts and beliefs, we shape our identity and become the person we aspire to be. I had a conversation yesterday with a professor of a college in Houston, Texas, and we were discussing. They were very fascinated with my theory, because my theory is your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. And they begin to inform me about a theory. It's called the choice theory by a great philosopher. His name is William Glasser, Professor William Glasser. And he came up with the choice theory because he believed that everything in life is a choice. Like, you can choose to be happy, you can choose to be free, you can choose to be a millionaire. He believed in the choice, and he was criticized because, once again, he didn't believe in fate. He didn't believe in destiny. He didn't believe that anything could stop you from being, doing, and having all of your dreams. You're the only person that can stop yourself. That's what he believed. My how do I want to say this? My comeback on that, or is that I'm in agreement with him, but we probably would have had a little bit of a confrontation. And let me explain to you why. Because he didn't believe in fate and he didn't believe in destiny, I understand that. I understand his beliefs and his choice theory, and I'm 100% for the choice theory. I believe that everybody has a choice. But I also believe, as we also talked about, is that everybody in this life was born with a hand that they were dealt to play in the game of life. That hand that you were dealt, it's your tools, it's your talents, it's your gifts. It's the things that you were given in this incarnation for you to be the best version of yourself and be able to create and manifest. Now, the hand that you were dealt is not the be-all, do-all. So I believe that at some point, the hand you were dealt has something to do with your purpose, has something to do with your destiny as to why you were put on this incarnation, why you were put in this incarnation, right? Now, if you find out who the hand that you were dealt, and now you want to play that hand to win, you have a choice. You have a choice to do what it is that you want to do. There's many people who are gifted. There's many people who are wealthy, who throw their lives away, who don't care about life, who doesn't want to play in the game of life. There's many people who they have a choice. But I believe that everybody listening on this broadcast, you have a purpose, you have a destiny. You were born. There's no accidents, there's no mistakes for a reason. Now, when you find out what your purpose and your destiny is, the hand that you were dealt, it's your option. You have a choice as to how do you want to make the decisions and choices of life that you need to make to get you where you need to go. But yes, you have the choice. And so that's my inclination that we got into it, and it was a very great discussion. I've always been a big fan and a big follower of his theory, the choice theory. And William Glasser is somebody who I respect immensely. I think that he was definitely somebody who was, his concepts and his belief patterns and his theory was I think was phenomenal, because it's true. We have the choice to be, to do, and to have all of our heart's desires. And if we don't get what it is that we want in life, it's our fault. And so the frustration could be today is that somebody may be on here saying, you know what, I've tried to do everything. I've tried to do the meditation. I've tried to do the vision board. I've tried to do so many different things, and it seems like I'm still not getting the things that I want to become. I'm still not manifesting and pulling in the things that I want. And so there's a lot of questions that would be asked. There's a lot of things. But the first thing I would have to say is, we just talked about this in the beginning today, is to be. You know, if you are walking in the beingness of what it is that you want to bring into fruition, then it's not going to be that difficult, because in the being of it, the being nature, when you are something, there is no doubt about it that you are that thing. See, I can't act like I'm a millionaire or think I'm a millionaire or I might be a millionaire. If I'm going to walk in the beingness of it, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to start thinking like a millionaire, talking like a millionaire. I'm going to start reading the money magazines. I'm going to start watching things that millionaires watch, and begin to study and begin to get into that. There's a book called The Millionaire's Mind, right? I will get the book and begin to understand how millionaires think. And because I'm moving in that level of consciousness, I'm being. So if I'm walking in that being, guess what? We talked about this last year with the laws of prosperity, that our minds are a magnet, and it magnetizes to us the very things that we have on our minds. So if I'm going to be a millionaire and I'm going to walk in that beingness, I'm going to start attracting the things that are going to make my beingness a reality. Which means that I may start hanging around people who are millionaires. I might get invited to a group or a session and find out that it's a millionaire session. I might get great business ideas. There's so many different ways that this thing can unfold. But the first thing that has to happen is I have to move in a level of beingness. When we talk about mental resurrection, I don't know if Spirit gave me that concept, and I begin to work with it. And mental resurrection to me is a process. It's a process of awakening and elevating one's consciousness to a higher level of understanding. So when I say mental resurrection, I mean that a lot of us can be thinking about negativity. Our minds can be focused on drama. We could be focused on the wrong things. We could be focused on things that don't benefit us. We could be focused on things that are not going to enhance us or elevate our lives. And so if we continue to stay in that, that's like us being dead, mentally dead, because mental resurrection speaks about uplifting the mind. And so that's why it's a process. When you hear the word mental resurrection, it's a process that allows us to move into it. This is not something that just happens overnight. This is going to be our way of life. This is going to be our way of how we operate every day. We're going to be mental alchemists, which means that we're going to be learning how to use our minds to create our own reality, how to create our present and our future. And so it's a process of awakening, right? Elevating your consciousness to a higher level of understanding and awareness. It involves transcending limited and conditioned thinking patterns, right? And expanding one's perception of reality. Now, listen, when I say create your own reality, people tell me all the time, well, what does that mean? What that means is, what is reality to you? Whatever you think is real, whatever is real in your life or that you want to be real in your life, that's your reality. You shouldn't let anybody tell you what's reality. You shouldn't let anybody tell you what to expect or how to live. I say this all the time. Don't let life live you. You live life. And so what happens here is that we are now getting to a place as mental alchemists that we are no longer allowing the limited and conditioned thinking patterns. We're going to remove those things in this process and expand our perception. What's our perception of what our reality is? Your reality is driving a nice car, having multiple sources of income, being able to travel and have time and freedom to be with your family and your loved ones, not having to punch a 9-to-5 clock, not having to go and work for somebody else, but having the freedom to be a creative, having the freedom to be able to manifest and elevate, having a freedom to not just learn this for yourself, but begin to teach your family members and other family of so much different things that can come out of this, right? Mental resurrection also tells me this. Now, we're talking about resurrection, so it would mean that something was dead and something is being resurrected, right? We talked about something that's resurrected, which would only mean that something was dead. And so mental resurrection to me would refer the symbolizing of the death and the rebirth, the relation between the spiritual transformation, right, of mental resurrection, which involves the symbolic death of the ego and the rebirth of the higher state of consciousness. Because what happens is, you know, they say ego, right? EGO, edging God out. That's what ego means, to edge God out. And so when we are talking about resurrection, what we're talking about is a symbolic death and rebirth. So we're going to allow our ego of self-identity, right? Our ego that it's all about us and that it's everything has to do with us and it's about us and it's all about us and nobody else and it's all about us, the light must shine on us. We're letting go of that ego, that edging God out. We're going to allow that to die in order for the rebirth of this higher state of consciousness. Right? It is the process of shedding old beliefs, limitations, attachments. You know, when you start moving into the higher levels of consciousness, there's a lot of things that's going to fall off on you. There's a lot of attachments. See, a lot of you have invisible attachments, stuff that you've been carrying since you were teenagers and in your 20s and in your 30s, and some of you were carrying it all the way up to now. But as you move to a high level of consciousness, you're going to realize that a lot of attachments will fall off on you. You're going to start feeling lighter. Now, I practice what I preach. I don't, advise, or I'm not advising anybody to do what I'm doing. But right now, today is the 21st of January. And I believe I'm on day 19 of a liquid fast. So that means I haven't eaten anything for 19 days. I feel amazing. I feel wonderful. I'm not in pain. I'm not dying because I haven't eaten. I actually feel wonderful. And so within that, I feel like I'm at a place of more clarity. I'm able to see more better. I'm able to gather my thoughts. I'm able to really move into a different level and a different perspective. And so I wanted to do this because I wanted to move into a level of clarity. I wanted to kind of detox and release as we're getting into a new year and we're getting ready to move into this new season. I kind of wanted to shed some things and release some things and let go. But it started in my mind first. Mind over matter. Yes, when I first started to do this on January 3rd and the 4th, my stomach was growling. Yes, on the 5th and the 6th, my stomach was growling, but it was mind over matter. It was mind over matter. And so I'm at a place where I'm utilizing the teachings to say I want to move into a place where I'm going to be embracing this new level and highest state of consciousness. Now, I don't know how long I'm going to go. I originally said I was going to go to March. March is my birthday month. And so I may go that far. The longest I've ever done it was 60 days, and it was after I met Dr. Sebi. I went 60 days without eating on a liquid fast, and it was phenomenal. And so it all depends on how you're moving and operating. But I've always believed that it brings clarity, it brings expansiveness, it brings the ability to move and to operate. It brings you to a place where understand that even though I may not be physically eating, I'm also shedding spiritually. I'm also shedding emotionally. I'm also releasing psychologically, right? I'm releasing those invisible attachments that many of us have, right? Now it brings us back to the importance of self-discipline, right? Because in order for me to be a mastermind, to master my mind, in order for me to be a mental alchemist, I have to have self-discipline, self-mastery in order to elevate and go through this process of mental resurrection. Mental resurrection is not a intellectual exercise, but it's a transformation that requires sincere inner work and spiritual practice. Now, it's very ironic how we're talking about transformation because the planet Pluto represents transformation. And now that Pluto has entered into Aquarius, we're going to see a lot of things happening, a lot of things coming to the forefront, a lot of things being exposed, so forth. But it also involves the deep exploration of our psyche, right? Of you really coming into an understanding of who you are, and you coming to the place where you're saying to yourself, I really want the change in my life. You must be the change. If there's anybody listening and you want change in your life, this is a new year. It seems like the last couple of years, it's been the same old, same old. You've been making the same kind of money you've been making. You want to make something different. You want to make more money. You want to have more freedom. You want to have more time. You're stuck because you've been going outside of yourself, doing different things, thinking that would change your situation or your circumstance, when the change is in you. You must be the change. Those of you listening, put that in the change. Put that in the chat. I must be the change. I must be the change. Nothing is going to change unless I change. I must be the only change. When I talk about entering the theater of my imagination, entering the theater of my mind, getting on the stage of my imagination, there's a couple of things that need to be. There's a couple of things that need to be in our toolbox as a mental alchemist. There's a couple of things I would say: concentration, attention, focus, and belief. Concentration, attention, focus, and belief. Those things must be in our toolbox as a mental alchemist. Concentration refers to the ability to direct and hold your attention on a specific object, idea, or scene. In the context of why I'm using it with the theater of my mind technique, concentration is crucial because it allows you to focus your mental energy and your imagination on the scenes that you want to manifest. So when you're manifesting, because the mind is the most powerful weapon we have. When you're going to manifest something, you want to close your eyes and begin to use your mind's eye. Now, I've always said this, and people think I'm crazy. The best way to see is with your eyes closed. And what I'm talking about is your physical eyes. When you close your physical eyes, that's when you begin to really see, because you begin to see with your mind's eye. But if you close your eyes and imagine that you're in a theater and you open up the curtains and there's a screen in the middle of your mind, On that screen, that is the screen of your imagination. Whatever you put on that screen, whatever you focus on that screen, is what's going to come into your physical reality. So that's why it's important that when you focus your mental energy and your imagination on the scenes that you want to manifest, you use concentration. Now, here's the thing: people may say, "Well, they all kind of seem the same to me," but let me explain this to you. I'm paying attention to the fact that I'm giving my attention to this particular idea, right? I'm paying attention to it. I'm I'm paying attention to it. Now that I'm paying attention to it, I become focused, which means that I can be doing something and still paying attention. Those of you who have children, you could be washing the dishes and still paying attention to the children, or you can have a little toddler walking around or playing around, and even though you're cutting up food, getting dinner ready, you can still pay attention to the toddler. But now, when you focus on something, you are now focused on that along with the attention. So I was already paying attention to it, but now I'm focused on it. But now when I'm focused on it, I'm focused on it. I'm focused and I'm on it. When I concentrate, that means I lock in on it. The concentration is what gives you the lock. So I'm paying attention. I'm focused. But when you concentrate, that's when you put the lockdown on what it is that you're getting ready to put into perspective. Attention is closely related to concentration, but involves being fully present and engaged in the present moment. When using the theater of your mind technique, it is important to give your full attention to the scenes you are visualizing. This means being fully immersed in the details. So, going back to my example, you are visualizing on the screen of your imagination a car with you in it, a 2024, a 2025. You see yourself in the car. You see the color of the car. You see the inside of the car, the dashboard. You see all of the bells and whistles that you have, all of the Bluetooth, all of the accelerations, all of the gadgets, the way that the seats can move up and down. You got heated seats. You're looking at all the accommodations, but you can feel it. You can feel the leather as you sit in the chair, how it just grabs you and encompasses you in it. The car calls your name out. You can feel how it feels to sit in a new car, the smell of the car, the feel of the car as you begin to take it for a test drive. These are the details, but you're seeing this on the stage of your imagination. Now, you can do this for a few minutes. You can do this for a day or so, but the more attention you pay to that screen of your imagination and the more focused you become, and then when you concentrate and put the lock on it, because when you concentrate on something, you know anybody, of course, everybody who's been to school, when it's time to concentrate, you're locked in. You're not letting nothing distract your focus. You're not letting anything distract your attention, but you are concentrating on this one thing. I gotta be able to solve this math problem. I gotta be able to solve this. So I'm concentrating on this. That's the lock. The concentration is what puts the lock in. Your focus is your ability to direct your mental energy and thoughts toward a specific goal and outcome. And in the context of the theater of the mind technique, where focus is involved in directing your imagination towards manifesting. This means consciously choosing the scenes and images that align with your desires and your goals. By maintaining focus, keeping your attention on the positive aspects of abundance, allowing them to become dominant in your mind and attract them into your reality. Now, listen, one of the things that, I've learned, I took a course, the Silver Mind Control, right? Jose Silva, and we as we study the mental alchemy phenomenon here, we're going to get into a lot of his teachings. Jose Silva was a man who created and learned how to use the power of his brain, the power of his mind. And what happened was he was able to tap into the delta and the alpha, the delta and the alpha levels of mind, beta levels of mind. And when he began to do that, he began to open up his psychic awareness and his psychic ability, where he was even able to see the lottery numbers for the next day. One of the techniques they teach you is how to go into the theater of your mind. But the technique that they teach you is they teach you to, whatever your problem is, to go and put it in the theater of your mind, but then create the solution. So you're going to X that out and then create the solution and put the solution scenes in the theater of your mind. And so it's a very interesting thing. I would tell anybody, if you can, to go ahead and take the course. It's usually like 2 days. So I think I don't know if they changed it to do 1 day now, but it's 2 days. And basically they work with you and guide you on how to use the higher levels of your mind. I'm actually thinking about going back to do a refreshers course myself, but it is a phenomenal course. I recommend everybody take it. It's life-changing. Some of the things that I experienced were phenomenal. So I would definitely advise you to go and take that. But those of you anybody on this call that has a sickness, on the theater of your mind, you're going to look at yourself as being 100% healthy. You're going to be that. How does it feel to be healthy? How does it feel to not have that ailment anymore, that illness, not to have that pain anymore? How does it feel to be able to move your legs and your arms and your limbs with no problems at all? To be able to walk and jump and skip and run with no problems at all? Be able to bend down and sit down and get up without any kind of pain or anything? On the theater of your mind, you're going to hold that. You're going to pay attention to it. You're going to focus on it. You're going to concentrate on it. And guess what? The longer you pay attention to it, the longer you focus on it, the longer you concentrate on it, it starts to become your physical reality, because you are holding on to this thought in the theater of your mind. And your mind is a magnet, and it will start to manifest and magnetize to it the very thing you have on the theater of your mind. Your mind will begin to show you the coming attractions. So just like we're looking at the theater of your mind and you go to the movies and you see in the coming attractions, that's what begins to happen. You're not only visualizing and you're not only manifesting, but you are also looking at the fact that your belief acts as the fuel that powers your imagination and enables you to overcome the doubts and limitations, your belief. Now, I want to get into the beliefs later on, because my definition of belief is different. See, when I say belief, people will automatically get an idea of something they believe in. So they would say, I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I believe in I believe in Allah. I believe in Buddha. They believe in that. So they believe that this is something that they believe in and that is their belief. I believe that anything you believe in, you don't have control over it. It has control over you. So whatever it is that you believe in, I believe that belief has control over you. You don't have control over it. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to make sure we have an understanding, and I'll get into my theory and give you some context with that in the weeks to come. But I believe that a belief is not something that you control or that you believe in, but I think it's something that controls you and that you allow to overtake you. And so if I'm manifesting and I have something on the theater of my mind, I don't have no discrepancies of me driving a new 2024, 2025 car overtaking my mind and beginning to overtake me. I have no problem with that. But you have to be very careful of what beliefs we do have. because a lot of us were raised a certain way. A lot of us have the same upbringing that we had from our parents, and a lot of our parents believed in certain things and put those beliefs on us. So a lot of us, we can kind of be stagnant or kind of be hindering ourselves by beliefs that we have that we need to overtake and begin to remove. So that's why we have to be very careful of our belief patterns and how we are utilizing these things. Because through the focused attention, the concentration, the visualization, we could attract, we can activate and attract all of our heart's desires to bring into this level of our reality. I think that when you look at your life and where it is that you want to be, what we're talking about now in the retrospect of you going into the theater of your mind, you also have to keep in mind, here we go again, what is your element? Because check this out, some of us, it'll be easier for many of us who are the air signs, maybe who are the water signs, but when we get to the fire or maybe the earth may say, you know what, I when I close and try to meditate and look in the theater of my mind, I can't see it. So what I may need to do is get me a book. I may need to draw it. I may need to get a vision board because I need to physically see it. So I need to get the car, and you may need to do that. And then now you would place that vision board, that mirror board, somewhere where you can see it, because it's a mirror board. It's a reflection of what you already are walking in. I'm walking in my being. I'm walking in my creation, moving out of the negative patterns, moving out of the negative thoughts. When you're getting into this, you're going to start seeing a lot of things change in your life. Because listen, when you start working on the inside, things will start happening on the outside. When you start working on the inside, things will start happening on the outside. And that's the magic. That's the magic. Because people will say, oh, you didn't move to another state. You didn't get a new job. You didn't try to do something different on the outside. You didn't try to do this. You didn't try to do that. You made the changes within. And as you make the changes within, you will start seeing things fall into place. This is the year that you want to connect with your intuition. You want to stay connected with your source, with the divine mind. You want to stay connected to spirit. Because in the midst of things that are happening on the outside, you don't want to be frightened. You don't want to be misled. You don't want to be caught in your emotions. You want to move by intuition. You want to be in the right place at the right time. You want to move at the right time. You want to go to the right place at the right time. You want to be around the right people. And in doing that, you want to move with your intuition. That's why it's important that we center ourselves. That's why it's important that we do spiritual mind treatments, or that we do meditations, or that we find places and ways of how to settle and get ourselves in a position so that we can elevate and grow to the next level. Because I want to get to the next level of mastery. I want to be able to master my mind. If you can master your mind, you mastered everything, because we are a mind. Man is mind. So if I can master my mind, I can master me. When somebody comes to me and says, they come to me for a consultation, they say, my life is falling apart. The first thing I go to is their mind. Because if you are telling me that your life is out of control and your life is basically all over the place, let's go to the mind, because I can guarantee you that your thoughts, everything about what you're going through, is also scattered and all over the place as well. So we can control your thoughts and we can get the mastery of the mind together. Guess what happens? Everything kind of falls into place. You are your mind. If you are not experiencing the life that you want to live at this very moment, If you do not have the things that you desire at this moment, it's a direct indication of your level of consciousness. Consciousness is your only reality. Your only reality. And so by me moving and elevating and raising my level of consciousness, I'm moving the detachments that I've had. I'm moving the invisible cords that I had to certain people. You know, there's certain people that they still call me and they can hit certain buttons and make me feel some kind of way. They can still, if I hear their name or if I see their face, or it does something to me because I still have invisible cords to that person, or I'm still connected to what they did to me, or I'm still connected about what they said about me, or I'm still connected about they said this about that to somebody else. When you cut those cords by elevating your level of consciousness, I can no longer be connected to those things of the past. I can't be connected to those things because I'm elevating. I'm walking in my beingness. I'm a millionaire. I'm walking in my beingness. So if I'm walking in my beingness as a millionaire, then I have to focus. I have to pay attention, and I got to concentrate on being a millionaire. And as I become attentive, focused, and concentrating on that, the only thing that can happen is the seeds that I planted. You only get a life what you pay for. What are you paying for? I paid attention to becoming a millionaire. I paid attention to becoming successful. I paid attention to becoming healthy. I paid attention to becoming wealthy. I paid attention. I only get a life what I become. You only get a life what you pay for. I'm paying attention to the things that I'm bringing into my fruition. I'm bringing those things into fruition. Everybody needs to move into a place where they are now becoming a master of their minds, a mastermind. You're becoming a mastermind. You're learning how to master your mind, and in doing so, your life is getting ready to change. Everybody that's listening to me, we're all in different seasons. That's why everybody needs a seer. Everybody needs somebody they can go to so that they can get some kind of guidance and begin to know what season I'm in. Where am I at? What is it looking like for me this year? What is it looking like in this season? I want to move. I want to elevate. I want to go do so many different things. And so I need to be able to elevate and move. I need to be able to elevate and grow. I need to be able to move and be the person that I wanted to be. Everybody should be striving to become the best version of themselves. But here's the question: who are you? Because you can become anybody you want to become. See, many of us have wore masks, and we didn't want people to know who we were. We were hiding, and we were wearing the mask so long that we forgot who we really were. And so now when we talk about mental resurrection, we're talking about removing the mask. And it's not a physical mask. We're talking about the spiritual mask, the psychological mask, the emotional mask that we've all been wearing and walking around with. And so now is the time as mental alchemists where we remove those things and begin to elevate and begin to resurrect the death and the rebirth, the death of the ego self, edging God out, and beginning to move into the rebirth of us elevating and exalting to a new level and a new plateau in consciousness. And so we find ourselves in that. We find ourselves in that place of mental mental elevation, being able to elevate ourselves, our lives, being able to elevate and to move and to grow. When you realize how powerful you are, when you really know who you are, the power that you have within you, there's nothing or nobody that can stop you from being, doing, and having whatever it is that you want. The only person that's going to stop you is you. You're the only person that's going to stop you. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in for today's teaching. Believe it or not, I feel like I was talking to myself. This was definitely great. This was a good teaching. And I also want you to, those of you that really like this teaching and you find that it's great, share it with your friends. You can click on the bottom of it, copy the link, email it to your friends, text it to them. Say, hey, listen to this message. I think you need to hear this. This is something that I think will benefit you. This is something that will elevate you. This is something that will motivate you, inspire you. Share it to your friends. Post it on your Facebook page. Post it on your, and spread the word. We want to get this message out to as many people as possible who can utilize this knowledge, this wisdom to grow and to advance and to increase their level of awareness, to become a mastermind, to unleash the mental alchemist within. Because you already have a mental alchemist within you. We're just going to activate them so that we can start creating the reality that we've always wanted to create. Every week, you guys go over and beyond, and I want to thank all of you for your donations, your gifts, those that sow seeds. We are forever grateful. It helps us to advertise, to put ourselves out there, to continue to expand and grow. And we are forever grateful. We thank you so much for all of you who are continuing to sow and continue to help. Those of you that want to sow the seed or give a donation, we're asking for the $26 seed. 26 because 26, the 2 plus 6 adds up to 8. 8 is the number of manifestation. We are operating in the year of manifestation. As a matter of fact, the year 2024, the 8, this is the year of the dragon, the year that brings us into the red dragon, the year of manifestation, the year of bringing things full circle, right? It's that kind of a year. We're also looking at the prospects of that we are circulating our funds. Whenever you release something, whenever you let go of something, we believe that once you release it, it will go back to its original point of origin, circulation. So when I release a seed into the Temple of Enlightenment International Spiritual Center, I know that I'm going to get blessed. I know that that seed is going to circulate back to me 100-fold return. We speak it into existence. Of course, that everybody who sows, that, you continue to be blessed, that everything you do will be blessed, and that you do receive the 100-fold return. And so there are 3 ways that you guys can give. The first way is going to be our Cash App, which is going to be $TOESC. The Cash App is going to be $TOESC. And then also we have PayPal and also Zelle. Those 2 are going to be the same email, which is going to be info, INFO, @TOESC.org. Once again, this information is also in your description, so you can go ahead and look. We also have those of you that want to book a consultation with me, you can. This is the brand new year. We are still working on helping people find themselves, discover who they are, find out what season that you're in 2024. Find out. Let's look at, what season are you in your life right now? Like, what is it that you need to be doing? Where is it that you need to be focusing on? And what things can we do to help you become the better version of yourself? And so that's why we are here at the Temple of Enlightenment, because that's what we do. We help you become a better version of yourself. And so we are excited about all of you who have come in, become a part of this following, this organization, this community that we have, this metaphysical, this mystical, this spiritual community that we have. We thank all of you for becoming a part of it, taking the time out of a busy schedule, because we all could be doing something at this time. Of course, the playoffs are going on with football and so many different things are going on, but you took the time out of your schedule. And even those who are on here from meetup.com, I started a meetup group in San Antonio, Texas, And, so a lot of people from the meetup are on here as well. And so just to take the time out of the schedule, and I hope that what we are releasing, these golden nuggets, these teachings, these lessons, that you will take them and apply them to your life, that you would apply them. Because we know that knowledge is not power, but apply knowledge. Apply it to your life and watch your life begin to change. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Please like, share, and comment. Let us know where you're at. Let us know how you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, you can always leave them in the comments. You can also email us, as you see in the description, at info@toesc.org. You can go ahead and reach out to us. And those of you that even want to mail something to us, our mailing address is there as well. You can always mail something if you want to mail us a letter, or if you want to reach out to us through mail, it's also available. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in to this broadcast for today. And I also want to say this one thing. Your destiny is not a matter of chance, but it's a matter of choice. Thank you. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.